5 minutes to go. Hello, hello. Kana lagi? General?
lay.
Bakon du fasanat lakta ba skara kana tawo malay ko.
Bakon lay das de.
Ate YouTube te yeng bro.
Adu tikin iko to iko to e.
Eko to eba. Hello, checking mic. Eko to bro.
ꯑꯃꯨꯛꯀ
Hello, checking mic. Kamain tawge? Echo? Still? Hello?
after second khar lega thole
Haidi echo se?
echo the second khar lega thole hai
Okay. Echo dudi ai samdam fix tawge.
tarida hojik ti thoktre
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible to you all?
Hello,
yes
hello.
sir, you're audible.
Okay, thank you. We'll wait for some time and we'll start it in a few minutes from now.
You very soon.
General ai gise nganga
Okay.
ke thokpan te yambiyo. Hello, General? General, tabro.
Echo thoine
Tarida
Echo thoeba.
Francis na ngangba kanduda thome
Okay. Hojik thoibra. Hello.
hojikti thokte
Okay. Sida double chalam edana. Hojik si mi aina khambada around 20 hoigi kano yaudana 20 mukti ona la ngatang minute ani hum dang ngai raga kada tawrma yaro yengas.
We'll
wait for some time.
issue idida
Kariaba.
tarida thoktre
Okay.
Yeah, I admit already. Yeah. Good evening. I connect to Yagdab. Chipem is online, right? I think I see him. Francis.
da kenodo slide share tawnamba male da adu kamaina tane to hangatra
Hello, good evening, everyone. I would like the host to start the program. So shall we start the program? So actually,
Sir,
I cannot hear from you.
okay, Dasapam, are you there? Dasapam.
Yes, I can hear you, General.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now I can hear now. Okay. So. No, it is not audible. I can hear the signal, but it's not audible to me.
I think there is some issue.
Hello? Can you hear me?
There is some issue.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, sorry. So 2 minutes, then we'll just start.
Okay, yeah, sure.
오사버젠드라 수 레디 레비레코. Hello.
Yes.
오사버젠드 타비브로.
What's up, Basendra?
Mute OID, Tamo present. I think he's available.
오사기. Okay, so Dr. Francis, I'd just like to request you for a couple of minutes to kindly revert back your screen sharing, because before we start, we'd just like to have a couple of words from our Dynamic Manipur
Okay,
EC
okay,
members.
okay. Yeah.
And then,
Thank you. Yeah.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think dum hausen ba yare ko ai kan bada khoi matam se just 7 minutes past over. Oza Presendra du ready le biraga di hapitang tang kombiro makhat khoi chata na haus. Ta da bazal oza.
Unmute tawi aduga videos on layu male to udre ne comment. Not sure.
Camera on to. Oh. Oza ta bro, Oza Presendra. Oza se ta da ba male. Kanam tam message ra kam tam thazen biro.
Yeah, let me check.
Sound chat tabra magida ma kanam ta mal.
Hello.
Hello. Oza ta bro.
I microphone ji kainom tawre tabra.
Tai.
Hujik tare taw.
Ngang basi tabra ba.
Tare.
Hujik tare ngasagi taram taw.
Oh. Oza, how no ba tawra se dudi oza.
Hello.
Oza how se.
think 1 week gum chak da nga ta da man
Horen mana ngangadamnina amuk oza version ragi opening do tawgadamnina aptang ready to bidragadi yaroidawa.
ꯇꯥꯕ꯭ꯔꯕ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯉꯥꯡꯕꯁꯦ
Tai oza.
ꯌꯥꯔꯦꯕꯀꯣ okay so good evening everyone ngasi
evening.
dynamic Manipur na sinjariba akhoi ngasi inspiration episode 17 gi aroiba numit ni akhoi matang adubu hairiba Dynamic Manipur na sinjaba inspiration episode si akhoi 2013 dagi matang sum chatharakpani adubu covid na mayam ama akhoi offline da tawbu ngamdabadagi online gi mateng na tawjabasi handakisina hanbani aduna ngasi khoi gi inspiration episode sida speaker ani hanbagina khoi exam thabi gadawriba class 10 dagi 12 faugi angang singi oina chemistry ki damak khoi gi Francis Chipem na aduga mathangda next session dana khoi gi Dynamic Manipur gi su advisor oi biriba Taiwan da laiba Oza Shantikumar na balancing social life with sports haibasigi matang da ngangbigani aduna mayam hairiba khoi gi episode asi thawayang yaubiduna amadi feedback bibiduna akhoina matung taba program silakpada mateng pangbinga na khane over to Vida.
Oh, thank you oza. Oza da aina oza oina invite tawzage tawbane oza no ina na tawsale. Although anyway akhoi oza version na manu oina oigi Dynamic Manipur gi founder president yam thawayawna Dynamic Manipur sibu samgat pirakba adugum akhoi gi leader new masagamani hojik su EC gi yam active oina laizabani ado masi nganga da topic si akhoi gi handaki Dynamic Manipur gi inspiration episode tarat suba 17th episode asida akhoi ahan mamangi that 21 dagi chatharakba ngasi sina mari suba masu aroi bani ki speakers oina laibiriba Dr. Francis A. Chipem Mahagasi Manipur University da assistant professor oina laibani nuga mahaki am samlapa background oina hairagadi IIT Guwahati dagi PhD chemistry da PhD loiraga hojiksi assistant professor oina laibani adagi PhD loitrida
bitan video do on to the bra udiko we are not able to see you.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Yarba.
Yare.
Okay. Aduga Mahasi su akhoi master su IIT Kanpur dagi mai toroktana yamna phaba akhoi gi Manipur gi as a very big asset ama oina masi akhoi gi Dynamic Manipur da speaker amtang oibiu hairo matamda yamna harauna yaibiraktura ngasi gi akhoi unajaba tanja asi phangmaidamakta Dr. Francis Bu Dynamic Manipur gi site gi haninga leitna thagachari aduga ngasi gi akhoi gi yamna telaba session asida interaction program asida maroina 10 amasung 12 ta khatang focus tawbiraga chemistry have subject se hojik exam sul tawdorobanina kitang guideline khara bibinaba aduga in general da chemistry sisu as a career oina khara higher studies su kamai kai ke tawi abadasu dum hongdo pa kasu kaide si higher gai Mike asi Dr. Francis ta sinazarage over to you Dr. Francis.
Yam ngajare oja bidan amasung oja Brajendro or amasung oja Thiam General aingonda matam PVV gi Dynamic Manipur organize over asiki inspiration talks da aigna matam pibi yam nungaijari. I beg your pardon, since I'm not very much fluent in Manipuri, so I will, for my fluency's sake, I'm going to speak in English. I hope you will not mind.
No problem, no problem. Please, yeah.
So time to time, I will speak in English, Manipuri also time to time. So, but for the sake of the audience and for general audience, I will use, I'm going to speak in English. So, as Oza Bidan has already introduced me, that I have finished my PhD from IIT Guwahati and a master from IIT Kanpur. Yes, I have been very lucky enough that I uh, got my graduation, masters and PhD degrees from IITs. People usually think that those who get into IITs are brilliant and intelligent and smart. But for me, I'm not that smart. I'm just an average, just maybe just above average. So, but here the thing is that the difference between the smart and intelligent and this, for me, is that I work hard. That's the only solution, and that's the only thing here. And of course, we have work hard, and we have to write the right formula. So, what is that formula? We will try to solve it out. What is that formula here? So, so in this context here today, we are going to talk on about exam. So, since the exam is nearer for class 10 and 12. So now here in the exams, during the exam, students, they usually have faced lots of tension and they have pressure and they have lots of nervousness. So a student in the exam, there are two possibilities. A student can do the exam properly well, as written here, as shown in the left side, or the student also may uh, do very bad because of nervousness, tension, and they did not properly, maybe because of that, so they may not do well also. But we do not have to worry, or but we don't have to worry much, because exam is not everything here. Although in everyone they undergo examination in this modern stage, but exam is not everything. So it is also not necessary that we cannot say that the scores that you get in exam is the determination factor for the success in life. We cannot say that. There are multiple examples that who are not that educated, but still they are very highly successful. So maybe we can just name a few. For example, now we can have, like, we have Bill Gates, we have Steve Jobs, we even have Narendra Modi, our Prime Minister. We also have Chief Minister Biren saying. So these are some of the few examples. Okay, so when I say that exam is not only everything here, but we have to be very cautious. We have to take precaution. Why? Because now in this age, because there are lots of competition uh, due to limited job vacancies in jobs and admission seats. So we have to be very careful, and especially for students like class 10, 11, 12, they're very young, they're energetic, they're highly ambitious. So for them, there's no substitute without giving exam here. And at this stage, all the selections are through exams. So we have to be, we have to, as elders and as teachers, we have to guide our youngsters, mainly teenagers and the students, to be prepared with the exam also too here. Now, as we are coming back, as we are talking about class 10, 12, so they are mostly teenagers. So teenagers are very young and they are wild and free also. And they also have lots of dreams and ambitions. And even they're also highly energetic. So whatever they have dreamed, whatever they are aiming for, if they work hard and if they uh, give their uh, whole effort, obviously they can achieve their dreams. So now, and since they are teenagers and young, so we should know that, as just a message to the teenager here, most of the successful people, they do their hard work they are successful because of the effort they usually give during the teenage years. So I can just tell some few example again. Once again, we have Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook. So he's successful not now. He's in the 30s, but he's successful because of the effort that he had gave during his teenage years. So some another example like we have Steve Jobs. We also have we have Bill Gates. So these are some of the few examples. They gave their effort during their teenagers. So for teenagers, you are still young and you're energetic. So try to make use of your time. So your time cannot come back. So this is your time and this is your opportunity. Of course, you have to work hard. There's no other substitute on this one. So now, as we say here, what is the criteria for success? Now, in this criteria here, so you can say that some of the criteria here, I can just listing here. Some of them is like talent, and we also have to have skills, the skills that we have for that particular talent. And for example, if I want to say, if I want to be a singer, of course, obviously I have to have a talent for singing. And obviously, just by because I have talent, I cannot be just be a singer. I have to have a skill of how to sing here. And and not only that, we also have to have the hard work. This is the major contribution for success. And it's not only hard work that's going to give you. So if you're giving 99% hard work, so you have to have the right formula of around 1% here. So in this way, in this presentation, we are going to talk a little bit about like how to sort it out the right formula, how to find out here. So now now before we do this, like we want to know, we want to proceed. Before we proceed here, we want to like learn what are those things, what are those that we expect from when we learn from class 10. So what are the things that we are going to learn here? So since I'm talking about chemistry here, I will deal with only with chemistry. So from class 10, from school chemistry, the basic idea that we are going to learn from here is that that atoms and molecules are the building blocks of matter. This is the information that you are going to get from class 10 school, from the schools. When you graduate from school, this is the idea that you're going to get, you're going to carry forward in your later career. So this is the basic information they're going to get. But apart from this information, nowadays in this information technology age, we can get all information maybe from different sources. But apart from this, the main criteria, the main essence of education in school is to the formation of thought process. Like, so the thought process here, we have to have little bit of exercises like mental activity, and we also have to like do some little like analysis through the problems. And so how do we form this thought process here? So uh, we have to learn how to do observations, and we have to learn how to record observation, and we also have to learn like how to write graphs and tabulation. So these are the the main essence of what we are going to learn, what we are going to get after we pass through class 10. Now in the on the context of class 11 12, now the students, the teenagers, they have already uh, pass through some of the important gates of life, that is class 10. Now in this class 11 12, this is the intermediate stage where a young adult is going to be independent from after a few years from now. So here in this class 11 12 is just in intermediate stage. So in this case here, when you learn chemistry in 11 12, this is in preparation for pursuing a career maybe in basic sciences or applied areas like such as medicine and engineering or other allied courses, allied subjects after class 12. Now, and when you're in the preparation, preparing this for your career by learning chemistry, you're going to learn the basic facts and concepts of chemistry. This is the so here, and in the meantime, you are going to expose to various new areas of chemistry and their relevance, so that excuse me, is it audible here? Is it? Is my slide?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
yeah. Thank you. So they are exposed to various chemistry and their relevance in their future applications. So, and when they are learning here, they're also going to develop how to solve problems. There is another very important uh, skills that they are going to learn when you learn chemistry in class 11 and 12. So a problem without any solution is not that much important. So when we have a problem, we should know how to solve the problem that. So in this case, now in the so when you're learning chemistry, also we are going to integrate our life skills mainly from the context of chemistry here. So uh, so like for example, like now we can also think about like nutrition. So how we are going to take intake and how it's going to be useful if we eat food and if we eat protein, if we eat like drugs or nicotine, anything here. So these are some of the skills, some of the lessons that we are going to learn when we learn chemistry. So now here, so before we just go on with how you are going to prepare here, of course, in this 1 hour or less than 1 hour, we cannot just sum up everything what we are going to learn for the exam. But this is just a tip of the tips and just the suggestion as a teacher that how I'm going to how the students are going to prepare here. Now, before we go on here, I find that so many aspirants, medical and engineering aspirants, they usually make one mistake, and this mistake is going to be one of the uh, failures, one of the causes of their failure of not clearing the medical entrance exam like NEET or IIT mains from engineering. So what these students are they do is that after they pass the class 12, they usually enroll BA Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Commerce and taking different subjects, so which are not related to medical or engineering studies, and which are also not related to the entrance exam. So obviously, so in this case, this is not going to help at all. And this is an indication that the objective of that aspirant is not still not well defined yet. What he or she is going to do after class 12 for her or she, for him or she, it is not defined. So the parents or the teachers have to uh, counsel the students, that the aspirants take help from the teachers or from their experienced people, that what the student or teenager has to do. So we as elders and teachers have also have responsibility for to do that. So um, as an alternative here, I suggest that of course is after class 12, only few students they clear their entrance exam just after class 12 without wasting their year. That is well and good, but most of the students they have to skip, like sacrifice 1 or 2 years for the preparation. Sorry. So in this preparation here, so in the meantime, most of the students they go for coaching. That is okay, that is fine, but when they go for coaching also, they can also enroll for like Bachelor of Science subjects. Like if a student is a medical aspirant, let him take like a sub electives like chemistry, botany or zoology. Or for engineering aspirants, let him take uh, electives like physics, chemistry and mathematics. Now in this way, the coaching and the BSc course, they're going to supplement each other when he's preparing for the medical exam or for the or entrance exam for engineering exam here. Likewise, this way, this is going to help in his preparation. Now, as we are talking about exam here, let's just try to see the routine of class CBSE board class 10 and class 12 here. So in class 10, they start from May 4 to 10 June, and similarly here for class 12 also, they start from May and end till 14. But for class 10, the science exam is on 21 May, and for class 12, the science chemistry exam is on 18 May. Now in CBSE board class 11 exam is over, I guess. And this in Manipur board also, I guess the exam pattern will be similar for class 10 and class 12 also, just similar to the CBSE board. So let's just try to just concentrate on CBSE board, because the syllabus as well as the routine is more likely to be similar with the CBSE and Manipur board here. So when if we see here, we have around 4 or 5 weeks left for the exam to start. Now, before we start the exam here, or now, I assume that most of the students, they have finished their syllabus. I suppose, of course, last year there was a pandemic, but still here, I suppose that most of the students have syllabus, and uh, because of the pandemic, the board also have reduced the syllabus by 30%. So I assume that they have finished. So that means here now is the time for their revision. Of course, some other students, some good students, they may have done second or third revision here, but as an average here, as an general, all the students have finished their syllabus covering their topic. Now is the time for their first revision, at least first revision here. So in this first revision, better they start with their daily study routine here. It should be strictly followed, and during this preparation, the students have to make some sacrifices. Like if he's watching movie every day or routinely, he has to sacrifice like few hours of movies until the exam is over. Or like if he goes for football or playing, so the student has to sacrifice a little bit. So this sacrifice is going to be useful, this is going to be fruitful uh, in his or her in future career here. So now let's just take, generally what happened is that in my case, suppose this is the exam, this is the routine here. So generally what I do is that I make a routine here, the last one I'm going to start prepare. Like for example here, the mathematics is last in this is for class of syllabus. So this is mathematics last year. So generally what I do is that I prepare in the first week, for example like this, and biology will be in the like second week, and chemistry maybe in the third week, physics maybe English fourth week, and English maybe in the last week here, since the English is the first day. So that way generally I do that. But this is how I practice. But for other students, they may have their own way of following the routine here, so that is up to them. So it doesn't matter here about the routine, but I'm just telling from my side the how I prepare here. So this routine, I expect that the students, okay, they have different study timing. Now now coming back to chemistry here, people generally say that chemistry is too tough, or like too tough because they have lots of formula, or they have lots of chemical equation, and they have lots of symbols. So because of that, they cannot memorize. But I want to remind you all that I want to tell those people, and I want to tell the students here that chemistry is not about memorization. It's nothing about memorization. And chemistry is about not about rote learning. Rote learning is like you are going to mug in some of the text or some of the study that you have read just to memorize it, and in the exam you have just to vomit it out. So this is not about study here. This is not at all chemistry. This is not about study here. And this not only for chemistry but for all the subjects, I guess. So now the country also have introduced a new policy, like for example like this policy called national NEP, national education policy. Here in this case, they are trying to modernize the education system. So one of them is to remove this rote learning. But we also have to know that, aware of that, the exam question paper setters also, they are well versed with how to sort the set the questions such that you don't have to memorize much. So this also the student have to know that. Of course, generally I don't follow any practice how to memorize. Generally I don't do that. Some students may have their own mnemonics, they have own the strategy to like just to memorize some formulas or some uh, equations maybe there. But for me, I don't do that. Okay, that's up to the students individual how they study. But generally I don't do that. And I do, for me as a personal opinion, I do not encourage, because study of science is not about memorization. So it's about mostly about uh, about concepts and how we're going to visualize and how you're going to imagine those reactions or those phenomenon processes going on. So I remember my first class, 11 class, there is like a PC Paul, Dr. PC Paul. Right now, he's a faculty in uh, Tripura University here. So at Tripura University, he told me that in my first class, I still remember, that is in St. Anthony's College, Shillong. He thought that chemistry starts with C. Common sense also starts with C. That means, in other words, chemistry is nothing but common sense. So we just have to use the common sense to understand those chemistries here, those formulas, those equations. So we don't have to. There's no need for memorization, but it's just about common sense. So I find that as a teacher, when I just examine the answer scripts of my students, also master level, sometimes they used to mug in the answers, but that is not the way. That is not the way, and they try to write something which they do not understand. So for me as a teacher here, I should encourage the students to first grasp the concept of that topic, not just mugging in. This mugging in is not going to help at all in his career or in his entrance exam at all. So that I want to remind here. Now, from the uh, chemistry syllabus here for class 10, we have only one unit. This is chemical substance, nature and behavior. So this is for class 10, and they have a different, again, subsection. This is chemical reactions, acids, bases and salts, metals and non-metals, carbon compounds, periodic classifications. So here, uh, so I will suggest that the students have to prepare the routine according to how much difficult is there, and depending on their how they can grasp the concept. Now here, as we see here, these chemical reactions, all these, mostly they are based on the electronic configuration of the atoms. So here for the class 10 students, they should know at least the electronic configuration for from hydrogen to lithium, hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium here. So they should know at least up to atomic number 20, that is which is calcium here. They should know the electronic configuration. So they should be very well. And all the reactivities of the elements or the atoms, they can be explained by electronic configuration. And from this electronic configuration, most of them can be understood. So like, for example, we have chemical reactions, and we also have carbon compound. This can be easily understood here. So this is, there are people from other background think that chemistry is not systematic, but here we have like systematic here. So it's mostly about based on the electronic configuration of the atoms. and and when you see here, when you talk about electronic configuration, we are talking about all the reactions in this earth is about the electrons lying on the valence shell. So that means here, for example, if you talk about lithium, we have three, atomic number is 3. So sorry, so the reactivity of lithium depends on the third electron, that is sorry, the electron that is in the outermost shell. So all the reaction that is occurring in this world is just about the electrons in the outermost shell here. Uh, so uh, so based on this, we can see some of the chemical reactions like displacement, addition reaction, substitution reaction, all these things you can also understand here. So people like atoms with similar valency, same valency, they're going to combine stoichiometrically. We can also understand here. Now in acid and bases,
So you are not audible, sir. So you are not audible.
Oh, Chipem, I think your mic is disconnected. We don't hear your voice. No, still not audible.
Hello?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, thank you. Earlier I saw some notification like drawing here, maybe because of that. So in up to class 10 level, we are talking about acids and base. In this level, acids as defined as a proton donor, H plus donor. And in this level, bases are defined as those compounds having hydroxides in their formula here. And we are and the salts are defined as the products as a result of the reaction between acid and base. So this is how we define here. So we have in class 10 we study only few reactions like acid with metals or with other acid or bases with metals and other few elements. So these are not very much here. We don't have to worry much. And we also have non-metals, non-metals. And so in a periodic table is nothing but the elements arranged in a table in the increasing order of the atomic number here. Atomic number is nothing but the number of protons in the nuclei. So here arranged in a periodic table, elements are classified as metals and non-metals. Generally, metals are on the left-hand side of the periodic table, and non-metals are in the right hand side. So these are just a few classifications, and for the class 10 level, they just to know the general properties of metals and non-metals will be sufficient. And here in class 10 level, they're learning about carbon compounds. And carbon compounds, they're talking about the alkane, general, just simple compounds like alkanes and alkynes and their general formula. So, and how the carbon and carbon atoms are, carbon atom bonds are formed by this octet rule. So these are quite very preliminary and so quite easier. And they classify the periodic class elements based on their properties. So these are quite simple also here. And for just average class 10 student, I guess if he's going through all the syllabus, I think for him he can easily get like pass mark from here. So if we go on to class 12 here, so in class 12 we cannot just separate the syllabus for class 11 and 12. So we have to study both of them together. So but here right now in this table I'm just showing the syllabus for class 12 because in the exam it's based on the class 12. But here to study the concepts of class 12 chemistry, here we have to learn the concept of the class 12, class 11 also. So if by chance the students do not understand, have not understood properly because of last year's pandemic or class 11 here, I suggest that he can just go through because there's still one more month. So class 11, that NCRT book is quite thin also. He can just go through as like studying a novel. So let him just go through, and then he can get some idea of that. I can still visualize. I mean, he can just revise that in a few days. So after that, he can proceed on with class 12 again. So now when a student prepares for, like, for example, solid state, he also has to prepare simultaneously for the solid state because in physics also they have a solid state chapter topics. So when they prepare the students are preparing for solid state, let them prepare together for physics and chemistry together here. And for example, in chemical kinetics, they have little bit of differential equation, and they also have chemical kinetics in physics also. So when the students prepare those topics, they can prepare it simultaneously for physics and maths or that related subjects. Or in other example here we have biomolecules. So when we study the biomolecules or polymers, they can prepare simultaneously for biology because they have shared topics. In that way they can decrease the time study duration for the preparation here. And I would suggest that for this preparation of class 12 exam, the main criteria and what we expect from class 12 is that they should know how to write the electronic configuration. In class 12 level, they write the configuration based on octet rule. Now in this case, electronic configuration here, they're talking about the s orbital, p orbital, d orbital. So they should know that how the electrons are uh, divided in different orbitals. They should know that, and based on the electronic configuration, the student is expected to know the hybridization of all the atoms in presence of other atoms here. So how the central atoms are going to undergo the hybridization. They are expected to learn here. So if they are not very much uh, well versed with hybridization or electronic configuration, they can go back to class 12, everything is there. So they can just finish off within few hours or few days. And from this hybridization, very much important is about the structure. So I will suggest that chemistry is about writing the structure of the molecule properly here. So a chemistry student should know how to write the structure, because the structure of a molecule is very much important, and the structure of the molecule decides the reactivity of a molecule. So depending on the molecule here, the structure of that, it decides this reactivity. Just like a person who is healthy is his, who is just like a person who is slim and fit is going to run faster than the person who is a little heavyweight, means overweight. That is expected here. Just like that, also a molecule also here, it depends on the size, shape and size of the molecule here for the reactivity. So that is, I just want to sum up. And when a student prepares for the topic here, I will suggest that when they make a routine, it depends on the mark distribution of here. So I will suggest that to give emphasis on this carbon compounds here. So because it has 28 marks, but it has so many chapters. So depending on that, I think depending on the periods, I will suggest to the students to divide their routine here. So, but here again, I'm repeating here, when they prepare the uh, for the exam, let them prepare, just see the topics of physics and chemistry and biology, mathematics, and the similar topics, let them prepare together, so that it's going to save lots of time. And because I have just sum up my presentation, uh, and I thank you all for listening to my uh, presentation, and I wish you all a very happy Yawsan. And I wish all the students to get their results with the flying colors. So thank you once again. And if we have any uh, topics or any things to discuss, we have around 5 minutes or 10 minutes, so we can discuss here now.
Yes, is there anyone from the participants who want to ask questions?
Actually, there is a question in the chat box.
Yeah,
The question
Alexander, please.
is about any tips for 12th appearing student who is not good, not so good in at chemistry. So he want to have tips for student who doesn't have so good in chemistry.
Oh, this. So may I know you? Like I cannot. Who is this one asking here? Like I just want to know again.
Ambika. Ambika, if you're there, you can turn on your mic and camera. So you can just personally ask, if you don't mind.
Okay. Fine. It's all right. Okay. No, I just want to know, like here, because so for me the tip means here. See, this is the thing here. This is a very difficult question for me. I cannot say that, because the tip that is applicable to me may not be applicable to that student who is not very well versed with chemistry also. So I will suggest that, suppose if a student is not that very good in calculation, mathematics, then he can just leave this unit 1 to 3 up to 5. We can skip little bit here, and he can concentrate on like unit 4 to 16, so he can give more time on the preparation of these chapters. Or if a student is not that very good in biology, then he can skip the later parts of the structures chapters, and he can concentrate on like the earlier chapters. That way I can from my experience, or from my, that is going to be my tip for her, or for the student who is not good in chemistry. So I will is it satisfied?
Ambika, do you have any more further questions? Are you okay with that, or because Oza Francis told that it's difficult to give particular advice, but he have mentioned that some area where you can focus.
Okay. Let me just continue here. One more here. You can also collect the past questions, like the past years question papers, and you can just try to solve some of them. Of course, you still have time. We have one more time, so I guess you can solve like 2-3 years. Okay, minimum 2-3 years past question papers. So you can from there some of the question. It's not that the question will be repeating, but the similar topics will come in the exam. So that way you can solve the question here. So you have the question, then you can open the textbook and you can just study that particular material.
Okay.
I think you have rightly rightly said about the information, because see, in my cases, I was also not good in chemistry, but to clear my examination, okay. Okay, so to clear my examination, I used to collect like 5 to 6 years question paper, and I used to, maybe I might be good in Maga, but I still try to understand and try to memorize the tips or how to solve those particular answers. So I think for her, the suggestion will be try to collect 5 to 6 years questions and just try to answer them all. That will be good enough. Thank you.
Yeah, I think, she has responded that, thank you, I'm okay, sir. Sure, I will solve with the help of question bank. Yeah, thank you, Ambika, for asking the questions. We would also like to get a few more questions. Not necessarily you have to ask, particular questions about exams and all. In general, you can even ask about like higher studies about chemistry. So let us not limit to particular 10 or 12. Of course, our episode is focusing on 10, 12. But if you have other questions also, do not hesitate to ask any questions which you think that will be useful for you while we have Oza Chipem is here. It's very rare for us to get, such kind of resource person to come and speak for us.
Okay. Here, instead of just typing, can you just talk through through the device that you are connecting here, so that this also like for you is how you're going to interact with the people. No, this is also a kind of learning process.
That's true. I have.
Yeah. So.
The admin has requested everybody to turn on your mic. Anybody who want to talk, you are welcome to talk.
You can speak in Manipuri also. No problem here.
I think it will be too noisy if we open all the mic.
Okay, so for the time being, I have muted everybody. So if anybody want to talk, you can unmute your mic. Hozi akoi oza Chipem na adum presentation du budi English to PB khare adu mahak kitang akoi gi presentation PB do akoi gi telon da PB kitang Hindi oise oi de bagi English to PB adu ga wari sana bagi di interaction ki tamakta di adum mai telon da adum hang bi so dum ya ni adum akoi gi tangkol ci nawler ko so tangkol onda hang virus mi yani ozana dum tangkol onda dum handok sera ni no ai na bai tare por ngamla su lei hoji kon akano mali dum hangning so dum yani.
So, I have a question. How would you like to inspire for the younger generation to take chemistry as a subject or in the field of chemistry?
Okay. For me, for my personal here, to get inspired is to read some of the brief autography or autobiography of those successful scientists. Like, for example, for me, that Albert Einstein is my inspiration, and we have so I'm following this that you have this one that what do you call? There's one cinema, one movie on one Nobel laureate, this mathematician. what's his name?
Beautiful
John.
mind.
Yeah, beautiful mind. Yes, yes. Yeah, beautiful mind. So so to get inspiration, better start with like reading the autobiography of those scientists. So then from there we'll get the idea like some of the, so from there when you read their biography, some new terms will be coming up like chemistry topics or some chemistry terms, and from there we can go into that. Like, so now we have lots of information technology devices, technology, so we can just Google it, what's that particular term. For example, if it is like, for example, if it is like computational chemistry, what is that? So we can just type it and then we can say what is that here. So through that, so many personalities will come out again in the Google. That is how I usually do.
So
Okay.
one more question: How do you
Okay.
suggest learning from YouTube for the chemistry? I think, like as you really suggested about utilizing YouTube to understand the chemistry subject, I think see, whatever we can't understand by our lecture, we can go and check to the YouTubes, and we will get a lot of information regarding chemistry and so many other subjects. And I think we can learn from those things also, because some people they prefer to learn by visualization, and I think with the models and other thing which we can't see when we are doing in the online classes or the ordinary classes. I think learning from YouTube is a very good easy method of learning the subject. So how do you suggest for YouTube as a subject matter, sir?
Yeah, so I agree with you in most of the points, but I also uh, countered that because in YouTube, okay, most of the illustration complex imagination, sometimes YouTube or those technologies help us in understanding much better, much better. But when you the traditional way of learning, it's like from the reading from textbook, also this also much more informative in sometimes, because in retention of the memory, like here in retention to our brain, sometimes it is uh, maybe because we are used to that, but the traditional way of learning sometimes it is also much helpful. And okay, I missed one point when I was giving lecture here, because I will suggest the students to make their own notes rather than following the notes of their teachers or their fellow friends, because it's from my own experience. I have my note from class 11 till my master or even PhD coursework. But there is just, I just collecting it, I thinking that it will be useful later on in my life. But I just kept it in a trunk here. I have kept left aside and teaching it to my MSc students, but still I don't use those notes. I just open a text and I prepare my own note and I'm teaching that. So I suggest the students to make their own note. In the meantime, they will appreciate because they are their own writing, no? They will appreciate themselves also, and the concept will be much more clearer. That I will suggest.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
so
Thank you, sir.
yeah. Looking at the time, we have to we have another speaker, so we'll just cut short here if there is no other questions, and we request all the participants to please continue watching our today's episode. We have another dynamic speaker. Matangi speaker hui lakchangida hui oza Francis pu amuka hana thagachari ningsinai re ngasi hui sida lakpibagi hui dynamic Manipur da laga sumaina wangbibagi mayamda kharada orasu dum tabiribasingna khara makhaidi dum ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯀꯥꯟꯅꯕ ꯐꯪꯒꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯂꯧꯖꯩ ꯃꯇꯨꯡꯗꯁꯨ ꯑꯣꯖꯥ ꯐ꯭ꯔꯥꯟꯁꯤꯁ ꯍꯣꯏ ꯃꯇꯨꯡꯗ ꯑꯃꯨꯛꯀ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯇꯥꯟꯖꯥ ꯈꯤꯇꯪ ꯆꯥꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯣꯖꯥ ꯐ꯭ꯔꯥꯟꯁꯤꯁꯄꯨ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯍꯥꯏꯖꯔꯛꯀꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯌꯥꯒꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯅꯁꯨ ꯈꯟꯕꯤ ꯍꯦꯟꯅ ꯄ꯭ꯂꯦꯠꯐꯣꯝ ꯈꯔ ꯆꯥꯎꯕꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯏꯟꯚꯥꯏꯠ ꯇꯧꯖꯔꯛꯀꯦ.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯃꯇꯨꯡ ꯇꯥꯕ ꯁ꯭ꯄꯤꯀꯔꯁꯤꯁꯨ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯑꯣꯖꯥ ꯐ꯭ꯔꯥꯟꯁꯤꯁꯁꯨ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯌꯦꯡꯕꯤꯌꯨ. ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯇꯥꯃꯣ ꯁꯥꯟꯇꯤꯀꯨꯃꯥꯔ ꯂꯥꯛꯀꯗꯣꯏꯁꯤ. So Tamo Shantikumar, I think he must be already ready. Now the matangi Tamo Shantikumar gi hoi holding ida just a very short hoi dynamic Manipur gi video matik macha thang uchage mayam khang da khara yawram dar khaswing bio mayam khara already khang of the khang mani di matung dai introduce to jarake. Okay. Tamo Shantikumar su ready the Lebiramani. Tamo Shantikumar gi di yamna toidon hedona hydrogasu mayamna dum hena kangbiramnani mayamna su khorana ngairaga dum lejarak karam kanda mutang Tamo Shantikumar gi taba phangsagadagi aise aduna Tamo Shantikumar gi si introduction pi leraga di masigi event si horen bochat tawmale aduna introduction si ai dum yamna kano tawjara gi haiti haibada loiba naira roi da hai tare ko adubu khara kitang panba yaba hai tare adum Tamo Shantikumar na hojik mahak Taiwan da professor oina leibani professor oibata natana sanabagi lamda maroina body building da su hogi international gi mingchat puraktuna Manipur Kanglipaki Phiran ga ngaktuna hogi mai mayam pubir khaba dugum misakamani adu mayam nasu thoido hendong na adum thengna biramni ekoi gi mamangi dynamic Manipur gi inspiration da su kyara khana adum hangbi kharabadi loina na Tamo Shantikumar masa maksu ekoi gi ti advisor oina dynamic Manipur gi advisor oina laibi bani matang sida sum aina aigi personal oiba wahi macha am khatang Tamo Shantikumar gi keno sida insum hasigi inspiration siga sum mari lena na haiba tare ko ai maramdi engon su Tamo Shantikumar gi dagi wahi oina inspire to giba wahi ama khaktang sum ai share to jage Tamo Shantikumar ga ai khangrak badum yamna kuire 2004 da aina Taiwan da aina like tam sapade thengnarakune Tamo Shantikumar na hairak pada wahi ama ai husipo dum kaudri still ai practice story ai still ai su amu ai gi students sing dum haiba kari no hairaga never give up the moment you give up you lose have por ma hai ki Tamo Shantikumar na ngasi phauta ai adum ai kauzate Tamo Shantikumar gi hariba hujiki matek se don't give up if you give up you lose have se aduna give up tawdraga di adum soidana phangani masigi si maroina youth sing da naha sing da hoigi message se Tamo Shantikumar pibi gi message si thamoida thamjin biu haininge masi haragai Tamo Shantikumar da mic si sinazarage Tamo Shantikumar ready leipiragadi over to Tamo Shantikumar
later. Hello.
Tai Tamo.
Good evening. Taiko. Koi mamangi speech kara mayek sing sum ta taro idani am pakale. Han maktada koi gi ngasi lakpiri ba koi gi koi uji koi video do basi koi Tamo Ngamgbam Shantikumar koi uja Brajendro degi uja Pedamani Shamananda loinana koi gi ngasi gi dynamic Manipur gi host riba koi gi inau bidhan loinana koi gi ngasi gi thorum chida aroi ba thorum chida koi gi thorum sibu yobi gani haidana saruk ya biriba koi gi arapa mede anak pada lagi ba koi gi icha sing hai tare ko ki inau sing chel sing mayam puno pu an maktada kurum jabaloina taram okchari ngasi gi topic si matau karamna aikoina mahai masing tambada amadi punsi da mai pakda karamba adi akhoi gi factor sing hiram sing mathau tai haibitugi matangda habitang share to jige mayam da akhoi gi Apple company akhoi gi Apple corporation ko akhoi gi iPhone iPad adagi Mac notebook na chingba akhoi gi puthok sing asi puthok piriba sigi akhoi gi Apple corporation gi founder hokdok piramba amati CEO oina lebiramba akhoi gi mayam hina sak khangbiraba akhoi gi Steve Jobs hariba mi oyasna mana siram dai gi matamda magi hospital gi pamung dida hippaga mana yamna nungaitana wafam am thamme madudi karino habda smai hai mana atopagi mi yengda atopagi mafam de ehak se the epitome of success habdi mai pakpagi mai pakpa da kam thenglaba adegi sel tum ayong na pairaba maming leiraba adugumba misak amani adubu hariba potlam chinga se uji asibagi pamungda tadun leiraba maki mafamda di value amata yaude meaning amata yaude na mahak hairamne yamna nungaitana masi gi hairambagi wan thoksikari no haibisi akhoi horen na siko ngasi gi topic maruai na gi how to balancing social life and regular exercise or sports participation and study for a better academic performance and future success habdi matau karamna kuna social life si adagi kuna changnai na sajel to ba changnai na sports to ba aduga changnai na sports competition na singba yauraga amadi kuna changnai na lai shu tamdana ahum masi jelaga kamai tona kun tungi punsida mai pak dage habisi matang da yang na share to jogadamni adu ngasigi si hoi noi ayam rendi class 10 adagi class 12 ki exam tha do ribani na hai adu noi gi the focus taroga koi ngang si na share to sin haina bani adu wai na sum khan bada the coming test the coming exams is not the last for you so sin la iba exam jina na koi gi aroi ba natabani na ayak na ngasi yang na focus to ning is di akoina noi gi handak la iba parikha si su exam si su loina na tung lak da man koi gi punchi da kamai to na mai pak da ge haibdi matang da hak chawrak na hak mayam da share to jage so kwai diga har bada hak na share to jening si why social life is so important kari gida makta social life si koi social life si haibdi social life haibdi koi na atopa mioi singa matau karam koi na afaba mari ji thamlaga makhoi ga thabak tawminnaduna ekhoi ji punchi da mai pak da ge haibisini haibidi akhoi gi punchi se khoi ji tom ta leiba ya de ko khoi ji as a human being as a social animal khoi na mioi ba khoi ji tom da leiba ya da ni na khoi mi gi mateng ekhoi mathau tai ekhoi na atopa da mateng pang ji mathau tai aduga atopa gi mateng su khoi na lobo mathau tai sina ni khoi na social life si yamna maru oi ri se social life yaudragadi akoina social life mari mata akoina atopaga phaba mari thambase leitragida akoina punchida mai pak laga su akoi punchida tung koina nungaina panbungamje si khudama maina hujik mamangda panjike ba Steve Jobs se maji ya pawi maji hujik se ma kari me hinglam bataragadi maji 400 billion US dollars se magi adugi mapu ma network oya ba ma adugi senpham je lantin de mangode legedam 400 US dollar ni ko haije 400 billion US dollar aduma yam nganna chahi yang khai taruk churpa matamda 2011 da machi cancer na pancreatic cancer na nadra machi laiki deba aduma na siram daidru man hairame yamna nungaitana yamna regret lain hairame ba aina aigi icha singa amadi ayak loinabi icha sing amdi ayak nungsiba maru mapang sig aina matam makoy da matam pigi da do ay ngasi di am nungay ken man hairam meba sina ta ku de ko na social life se have social life na aina matang da panjari ja ko how to have good relationship between you and the others especially your family members si maru oeba habdi nahak na kagmo punchi da mai pake any hiram da ko chemistry da waigera physics da waigera math da waigera english da waigera sanaba da waigera ko any field da no mai pake habdi first you have to have a good relationship especially with your family members why karigi family member ga yamna apaba mari lei bagi maru oiri si mathau tari si karigi no hairagadi you get a lot of support from your family members, the true support, the true love, the true affection. Because of the true love, because of the unconditional love, you can get a lot of support from your family. Nakoigi family dagi asengba nuksibadu laibanina. No soidana koigi energy, power, pangal shakti matik mayashi nakoina imungi manungdi phangbang nganeba. Adu tanatana nakoigi atopa classmate ne khangde oja ne khangde moiga apaba mari thamagadi moina su nakoigi punchi gi any hiram dana koi khona bada soidana mai pakne moina mateng pakne ba aduna ne koina why social life is considered so important in my opinion, and this is according to my experience. Aigi punchi da thengnar pagi matung ina ko akoina ngasi bawda sigi stage da yoba ngamjare ije koi macha tara pu manung da kwadi ga tumbani ayaksi chanupa tumbani ado koi ji chara je ani suna chaba khong panateva ado koi ya wana like me adu bu kumai tong sigi stage da koi ngasi yoba ngam ino abdi jawla neru da PhD torkna DM college da bachelor lotion laga jawla neru da ko MPhil master PhD solution leva adu gi mathakta Taiwan da la aga sagi aina INBA Taiwan gi president oiba adu INBA Global Asia gi president oina when national bodybuilding support oba adagi 2017 da the Hall of Fame bodybuilding Hall of Fame ji Asia da kanam telikte ai ondani phangi ba 2017 da adudagi 2018 da INBA World Ambassador haiba mingthol se ai kateni world malemgi mi oi amata da pigidre ba adi aingon de pidem smai to na sana ba da su adigi lai lai su da ju thabak da ju sigi phibam da york ba haibse atopa gi mateng yaure eba maru oina akoi gi imung manungi nuksiba imung manungi support ba amadi akoi gi aigi sing imanaba sing iram damgi irei chasing yamna ingonda support tawgireba madugi support aduna ingonda suki matik thaugat piba puning thaugat piba wakal thaugat piba aduga pangal sakti ja pibneba adun that's why I consider social life, especially how you relate with other people, is so important. So try to have a good relationship with everybody if possible. Maruina kwegi mung manung se sigana mari thamno khotna gadam na aduna sana Steve Jobs na yamna nungai tana mana lechi dabdo kari gino haragadi mana thabak silingai da magi Apple company ki thabak silingai da mana magi macha nuksiba macha magi nuksibi loina bi moida matam jamana yamna piki deba madugi damta mana siram da yam nungaitana madu hairga masi keba ahan ba sini social life say that's why social life is very important, so you should try to have a better relationship with your family members especially, and also with your classmates and with your teachers and with your friends, so that you can get help from them as well as you try to help them. And this way you can help each other. And this is called win-win policy. Ani subda ana mayamda thamjanam gisi khogi sports, regular sports. Why regular sports, or doing regular sports, doing exercise, and doing a regular participation, taking part in competitions is so important. Kari damakta ko na chang na sajel to ba. Chang na skin do falong kupsan. Chang na sajel to ba dagi chang na sports sana ba natraga chang na ko sports competition gumda yaw se siya ko gi punchi da mai pakda maruin ako'y laylay shoot ang basita ko ano mateng pangam ay masigi maramday so ay ako'y na sajel ji chang na tawbo matamda ako'y da physically ako'y fit oy ba katanatana kari kita ko physical fit oy everybody knows, you all know, right? Exercise is good, but if you don't do yourself, you won't feel the benefits. noina sajel to visit fai have the loina kangam gane ko adu noina sajel to bigi kanab se kayam kanage as noina sajel to dragadi kangwe adu sajel to ba koidi kangyam se adu koina university da koina jawlan university da ade dm college ta mukma ta na koidi khangda khangdana ko masigi kanab se ko imung manung lai la chu hai tamni ma pa koi lai karim hai tamina moina sana khona bagi lai chu karim hai te koi ma ba ji koi ji khutna irega soi to ba tabne aduna mo khubina namaga moi identify to web moi masamak che saktak moi saktak che moi khubina namat eba man to ko na khoi ji imung manung lai chu hai bedu lai tamina khoi ji kam khangak te ba fawra phata braido adubu lai bok phobadagi khoina pamjabadagi ko koina sum changna na sum sanagi ba changna na sum kapchin yaw gi do aduna sai kana ba phangba mayam je ai yu ina di loina phang e ba yamna khudam moina harabda yamna lai jana horo jo ko diam college one of the best colleges in Manipur right ko hujik chu dum oina ngoni khali diam college da koi diam college ta hi manga tor e English major lor e ko diam college mai tam lotion gi adigi matong da national test ta yaru da ko gi Jawaharlal Nehru University New Delhi si ladies is one of the best universities in India, not only in India but also in Asia gi manung da India gi manung da ko one of the best never today the to with the live book for the yaru hai tare ko national entrance is yaru with the live book for the ai actually yaru e live book for budget to with the live book for the ai sana dum o hin bai tare ko luck comes to you when you work hard, when you never give up, like bidhana hai give to ko never give up, then success and luck will come to your life. Adu thajaba sum thajana sum tarona kona sagi jenu ge tesi pass or kanda smana tam gi bachida ko sana bse ko tum sana reba jenu da duna sana pisa jenu ler pisa jenu sahi ni paler pisa na Mr. Delhi je mari rag law eba aduga Mr. Northern India je lak adu overall amurak law eba se adu larik tam ni ko adu jo share je laita dana chana ba pi na laita na mess bill pin laita na mess bill da shell thak dingi pi do matam chana pi ba ngam da dana ba mess holda eviction list nam le ye khoina chak cha ba yadre hana ming thok do adu da thok da ai je dum number 1 tarim ne koi body building chana ba gi number 1 ta ba khana tan ko damai to na later su waraga su ko koi sana ba che dum sana re ba chang na sana re aduna sana ba gi kana ba sing do loina phang e kari kana ya ga koina ozana para ta khu matam da akoi je lokshin ba yam na thuna lokshin ba ngam me maram da koi gi sana bam ta na koina concentrate tor ga koina punging gi chang na tor ga koina yo chi thang ka le do koina wa khala ma khala ga yo thang ka ya pung te ba aduna punging ji chang na sana ba gi akoi habit to leibni na adu habit to ma le ra ko punging chang na tasin ba gi aduna adai puning chana tasin bagi adi hard work to bagi ko adi concentration to bisi loina ko na sana dei tam e adu si matam du ai ha khangude adu khangda na sum sana ba pamja bagi sum yaw bagi sum kana singil oi phangge ba adu koina sana bisi kamai to na kana bisi ge piri no hare ga koina sana ba matam sida koina chang nai na sana ge karigum ba condition ma thokke yaw ge na matam sida makok thongge kana khanba matam sida akoi chaba ta quick habits ma change to buta darkar oi ma thok tai adagi tumba matam chana tum da yate afa chinjak cha da yate adagi mina ko thok chakhraga ai di yaw roi maram di nungalaga gym hogalaga ngata chalaga gym chana daini adu mayam sina ko habits se afa habits yam form to weba semgal leba adagi koi gi sigi mathak ta ko akoina mentally akoi si mental health is support to web ko gi sajel to jina hakchang paradi asa so physical health na ko mental health is ya matang pange le ko ai ko na sajel to jina kana bi kari no hai kan da na if you train more than if you exercise medium to intense exercise more than 30 minutes you get a hormone ko gi endorphin hai ba more a hormone che kari akoina kari hana khangna ga happy hormone haye ko happy hormone have say you can produce your body will produce noigi hakjang ni ko sajel to matum si puthokani ba hari bas hormone che happy hormone chi na ko atopa ko gi ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯃꯨꯠꯁꯦ ꯆꯦꯟꯖ ꯇꯧꯅꯅꯕ ꯍꯦꯄꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯅꯅꯕ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯅꯕ ꯍꯣꯔꯃꯣꯟ ꯈꯔ ꯑꯃ ꯂꯩꯔꯦꯕ ꯀꯔꯤꯅꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ toxitonin ꯀꯣ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ dopamine ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯒꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯑꯃꯗꯨ ꯀꯥꯎꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯁꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯇꯧꯅ ꯑꯍꯨꯝ ꯑꯃꯁꯨ ꯂꯩꯕꯅꯦ ꯄꯨꯟꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯍꯦꯄꯤ ꯍꯣꯔꯃꯣꯟꯁꯦ ꯃꯔꯤ ꯂꯩꯌꯦꯕꯀꯣ ꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯔꯤꯁꯦ ꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯑꯍꯨꯝ ꯇꯣꯉꯥꯟꯅ ꯑꯃ ꯂꯩꯕꯁꯦ ꯁꯤꯒꯤꯁꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯑꯦꯛꯁꯔꯁꯥꯏꯖ ꯇꯧꯕꯗ ꯊꯣꯛꯏꯕ ꯑꯦꯟꯗꯣꯔꯐꯤꯟ ꯍꯥꯏꯁꯦ ꯃꯁꯤꯅ ꯑꯃꯨꯛꯀ ꯍꯦꯟꯅ ꯃꯄꯨꯡ ꯐꯥꯅ ꯊꯣꯛꯍꯜꯂꯦꯕ ꯁꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯇꯧꯗꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯊꯣꯛꯍꯟꯕꯁꯤꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯁꯦ ꯄꯨꯛꯅꯤꯡ ꯋꯥꯈꯜ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯅ ꯂꯩꯍꯜꯂꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯅꯅꯦ ꯅꯣꯏ ꯇꯥꯔꯕ꯭ꯔോ ꯅꯣꯏ ꯇꯥꯔꯝꯃꯣꯏꯀꯣ ꯁ꯭ꯄꯣꯔꯠꯁꯃꯦꯟ ꯑꯃꯅ ꯃꯣꯏ ꯁꯦꯜ ꯄꯥꯏꯗꯀꯣ ꯃꯣꯏꯁꯦ ꯃꯃꯤꯡ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯆꯠꯄꯁꯨ ꯅꯠꯇꯦ ꯁꯦꯜ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯄꯥꯏꯕꯁꯨ ꯅꯠꯇꯦꯀꯣ ꯑꯗꯩ ꯊꯕꯛ ꯑꯆꯧꯕ ꯇꯧꯕꯁꯨ ꯅꯠꯇꯦ ꯃꯣꯏꯁꯦ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯃꯣꯏꯅ ꯁꯨꯏꯁꯥꯏꯗ ꯇꯧꯋꯦ ꯅꯣꯏ ꯇꯥꯔꯕ I don't think you have heard ever ꯍꯣꯏ ꯃꯔꯛꯇ ꯇꯥꯕ ꯌꯥꯎꯔꯝꯒꯗ꯭ꯔꯥ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯇꯥꯔꯝꯃꯣꯏ ꯑꯌꯥꯝꯕ ꯅꯣꯏ ꯇꯥꯔꯝꯃꯣꯏ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯣꯖꯥ ꯀꯦꯁꯣꯔꯖꯤꯅ ꯃꯃꯥꯡꯒꯤ ꯁ꯭ꯄꯤꯆꯇ ꯄꯟꯈꯤꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯕꯤꯖꯤꯅꯦꯁ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯁꯦꯜ ꯄꯥꯏꯕ ꯕꯤꯖꯤꯅꯦꯁ ꯀꯌꯥ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯃꯨꯚꯤ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯥꯔ ꯁꯤꯡꯒꯤꯡ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯥꯔꯁ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯑꯇꯣꯞꯄ ꯑꯐꯥꯎꯕ ꯃꯤ ꯀꯌꯥ ꯁꯨꯏꯁꯥꯏꯗ ꯇꯧꯋꯦꯕ ꯃꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯊꯕꯛꯇꯨꯗ ꯁꯦꯇꯤꯁꯐꯥꯏ ꯇꯧꯕꯗꯒꯤꯅꯦ ꯈꯪꯗꯦ ꯗꯤꯄ꯭ꯔꯦꯁꯟ ꯂꯩꯕꯗꯒꯤꯅꯦ ꯈꯪꯗꯦ ꯐ꯭ꯔꯁꯇ꯭ꯔꯦꯁꯟ ꯑꯣꯏꯕꯗꯒꯤꯅꯦ ꯈꯪꯗꯦ ꯅꯤꯡꯕ ꯀꯥꯏꯗꯅꯤ ꯈꯪꯗꯦ ꯃꯣꯏ ꯁꯨꯏꯁꯥꯏꯗ ꯇꯧꯋꯦ ꯃꯣꯏ ꯁꯦꯜ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯄꯥꯏꯔꯁꯨꯀꯣ ꯑꯗꯨ why the sportsmen don't do suicide why they don't take their lives maramdi they are happy moi na sagi endorphin haiba hormone je marang kaina puthokpanina sajel torga marang kaina puthokpanina moi ngon makoida awaba se aduk yamna hakna waba je wakhal je moi da phawdeba aduna ne that's why they never suicide and you have never heard I know oi moi drug chaba steroid chaba dagi sibidi yawi ko adu moi suicide to bidi yawdi ba masana khangna sina akhoi gi sajel to bisa duki mati maru oyaba akhoi na punsi da mai pak ke hargadi kari gino hargadi hakchang phadana noi mai pak ko yagadro yaroyaba for example ai huje ko ngausil o huje kok jigla o puk nara o ai huje wa ngang is noi de ngang ai ka chu ngang bung amoyaba sidai da noi sida aina I had no one ngang batari noi puk yeng la o ade ko ngaro noi ta bang gadra ngamoy ko sini ana sakui hakchang pha ba se yamna maru oeba adu hakchang pha ba ka sajel to ba haraga koina hekta hours and hours of nungti ke koina spend to adu di na teba you just have to spend about 30 to 45 minutes to keep yourself healthy no mada chayola mata ko moina hari chayola mata na koina numit humni dagina session hai ko no mo pra sana don na ko session ahum dagina manga bo manung da ko sana ba ngam ko noi na safana leiba ngam ne ba ado session amada koi minute yamo 30 yamdra 30 minutes to 45 minutes noi na safa bi hoi akoi di koina malem gi oina koina sana roya mo ina koina akoi gi Mr. Olympia adagi Mr. World Mr. Universe adagi koi world gi championship ha have pun no ji 12 medals world gi title ji aingon do ji punna gold medal je tarani thoina bi lei se si lei ba ji gi hoi akoi sana roya ni ko professional sana roya na koi we have to spend a little bit more time than you but for you to be healthy to be fit and to be happy, you just have to spend 30 to 35 to 45 minutes. I don't know you might excuse yourself. Oh, I matam late I ahal oire natra I angang lo dai na I chasing lere I thabak lai haraga noina excuse the raganoi sanada badi yaba adu kari gino haraga di noina priority to p the beginner priority p the beginner bakuna sagi akogi Steve na billionaire ni ko ma billionaire ne maji hujik lai ramadi maji richest man of the world wagidam ne ba 400 million billions ngasi talang mo deben ma se magi wealth se 400 billions le mo deben pa se mana chayola mata pung hum mari manga kai thokpa ngam hodabadagi ma cancer pancreatic cancer hai ba laina se narga maji sikibne ba adu kari mana pung ahum mari si mana chayol amada kaitho amba taragadi ma ngasi le hingangbani magi mung manunga macha singa magi loina biga aduga magi sagi magi lal sel chumchu asuki mati 400 billion saije yamdro si lenum gadabne ba adubo why he couldn't save himself. I should 2018 the cancer na ba. Mana na its mana I should cancer na ye 2018 the kang hold na ko ko lymphoma cancer ha dina. Aduna 2018 to 2019 ja 8.6 ko lymphoma cancer treatment to ba. Chemotherapy, radiation therapy, target therapy, high to the steroid, sana ba dam ho steroid cha ba yak se. Steroid ka after steroid cha na hing ho ba. Why I could survive? Kani dang tayo na hingo bang amino. Sell billion the fiber Steve Jobs na hingbang amdraga sell tagi ozamo ojaraga sell kara tanjaba laira ba di laira de ko sell adu yana pai de hang na hinghoraga mana kari dang ta hingbang amdri banoba. That is because I have health, I have muscles through my exercise and my muscle. I ingon da hakjang da yaujir ba I hakjang gi muscle singje sina ko ko gina sagi chemotherapy the copy bidaxing, target therapy the copy bidaxing, and the radiation therapy the capsule by ledger being sigi steroid is that mayam je subsin bangam meba I have sang the yargum muscle singina. Aduna never I want Madugi Kanaba from the Guinea. Doctor I want the chemotherapy taruk la cap to have never. Adu I marry a couple I do padokre. Adu Steve Jobs tea. Madi billions in a my specialty, the Madi best world the pride proper #1 hospital the ma tamaging in ever. Ado Magi Pashadano Makan Bangam Brava. Namdeco. Ado Sigi, my case the young edico. Success in life, you cannot decide in terms of money. By Shayam, the Selian, talk with the Adukatana, my papa behind the Noi, Lobo Yaroeva. Heidi, Nakalam, the Edico, Steve Jobs, failure never. My papa not ever. Karigi, Magi Puchi Makan Bangam Bro, Namdeco. I don't mind the Ain my pa ever. Madam, the you didn't know a lady, Imung Manoha, Icha Marie Lay, Nupi like Nupi Chunga Tado, Tado, Jengi Deco, Chungan Jeloeva. And the guy using Tabak lady, I told him, Macham Chazarico, Professor on National Injury, and the guy INBA, PNBA, Asia, President or Niger, Korea, India, the Taiwan, that's my Japan, that of Grina, President or a supervisor of the Nuai Hingam say. See my pop whenever I didn't knuckle anything. Although Steve Jobs, he was a failure. My wow, how do you call knuckle on the Madi, my pop, my failure never. Although no, see, or the never call, no in a saddle, you hung the rock. No, is hung be over. Am I doing this? Am I spending my time at least 3 sessions in a week? Yam the Sayolam the Aish Sazelji, a home locked out the bra, many contra mooked over a the bra. And hung be a call. Tau that agadi. Haying the Hobiro. Nasi the Tangani. Today will be late, but you can start from tomorrow onward. And that's my high college the call. College in a survey matu in a call. Quick in a 50 to 55% of college students. No college student, the Manung Salamani Konoje, Tang now or so. 50 to 55% Chang Manung the car, Yang Kadu Yankimanga. Sajil Tok Deva. Chang Nina Sajil Tok Deva. Chang Nina Sajil Tok the Basina Maram or the Sai Kanaba Mayam say. Kangbangam Deva. Masi Kanaba Sing say. Kangman and Ekoye was Ajibana Hanbanimita Wangang with the Sajil Tau, Haina Harambuto. Hai pan giving go ha bidan go sajel to bisi yam no pai sajel to un hai gibdo aduna sajel si no na yam no to no ba yam ai do na sumatam yam hen ba jubi nungai ti ko adu no you don't have to spend that much time, but please spend at least 30 minutes 3 times a week. That is how you have to begin. Smaina tap na horgana ko hebi chima like ko hebi che numit tarani pandagin na ha ama nisidana hebi che semba yabani ko smana hebi che semora ko anoina na once noina value je mahau je kangra ko sanabgi na kana ba adi mahau je kangra ba no edu to ro dong ne ko ji to phongam de andi waja ji ban to phongam de any to with ma jim na dum chali sine ba simna sanabgi matang de ni ko aduna hayeng noi ngasi di thiang ani hayeng do sana batu hobiro kari gumba noina sana batu tawdra di maram di noi hujik exam laire exam la ekana don't worry about that. When you spend 30 minutes you are going to get 3 hours maram di noina sana bada noi gi kok ta chang ibo oxygen singduna ko noina lari pa da pung hom da lari pa da noina pung ga da pung hom da pa da khang duine haidi aduki matik noi gi brain che alert oine ba aduna aina sana base ya na mathau tai hai che social la ki matung da sana ba ko adagi si matung je keno ai si study gi matang che noi huje hana chum para lakra natraga hajikta pa hauri bra du dai ju khangdre ko noi gi test lakdre ko metric test lakdre 12 class ang ni March and June adai da ta bra keno ko gi Francis Chipem gi video da maina u ki bani ko March noi kuidre na tha ni hom ama ni hom dwan le bra adu hana dei chum para la ko da gi yam phare ko adagi hana dei pa ba hau da hujikta pa ba hau ga I pass to da ya de na kangbo ma chu lai bne ba adu ore ga di khang dre ko adu ore ga ama bu ore ko it doesn't matter you can start right from tomorrow because hana dei ga hau ga la ko isno hujikta hau bo isno kana ba di adum phangane ba noi sana ba ko aduna ne akoina sana ba si aduki matu mathau tai haina aina any wangang within harije adu sana bagi matang ja aina handek research to ga ma iya ba ko aina research ma iya da aina international conference ma da yawe ba the impact of sports regular exercise on academic performance ana adi sana chang na sana khona bana khoi lai la shu da pi ba impact to sakfu do adu matang da i do ai paper do best paper award phangya ba andak che hi da ko 2020 da adune aina haijari se thajabi habni ko aina haide ai best paper award phangram ne si matang da ko sana ba gaming thol phang badana na ko adagi khoi gi home sub da hang na haijari me khoi gi studies ko study se noina na khoi na sum khoi gi larik tam ko khoi experiences sum share to ko I believe on learning every day little by little khoi ozaki sujin na give do study learning is a lifetime and khoi na mana sumana oza ke sujin sumana pan gi khoi gi Henry Ford ki matang da Henry Ford abje khoi car khoi gi Ford car do adu puthok pa adu founder and the maji CEO mapune ba law khoi gi law pa Chinese da law pa hai adu mapune ba maji ko Henry Ford hai khoi ra si ba adu manas my harame ba anyone who stops learning is old but anyone who keeps learning is young whether he is 20 or 80 and high give ko adagi makhatar ko ma haye mana Henry Ford sina the best thing in life is to keep learning however the best thing in life is to keep learning and to stay young mentally however mana however the like however ko koina like chu tambai se akoina mahi tambai je het to ko da ko ahal lo ne ba chahi kunno ai gara chahi marifu ai gara doesn't matter tambabu to ba adum ahal no ire are tambabu letra bo ko koi ja dum na ha oi le ne ba ada aina sidai ama hapchaning ba amana ko I like to add something more anybody who keeps training sajel chang na taw le ba ko ma do mentally physically na ha oi da ne Henry Ford na harim miduna only mental you want ko wakal you want ba ada aina hari jena wakal ju hakjang ju na ha oi ge hari ga day you have to keep learning and you have to keep doing exercise regularly si hapsan jage ba ni ko aduna ma harim do the best thing in life is to stay young mentally and physically by learning and by doing regular exercise sina aigi mo ni ko smana koina kun chi si da ko na ha oina hakjang da wakal da na ha oina leige haraga di ko tamba si laptop ado sana ba su laptop ada aina lai la shu tamai matang ai sai haje ki ba jikta haje ki ba koi no ma da khaji ka sik sum pa ko sum tam ho ba sine ba ina thajabdi. I don't believe in, you know, spending your you know, whole night and burning the candle, midnight candle. No, yes, it's pretty calm. I love it. Like should up have been matau da ko gi imai pa apang ba imai pa da toksin da lai ka kan na para candle la thadra kuji candle thana dro khang de akhoi di hana thara pudong la thara lai pa re ko ani ma lai pa ri ni tau do idea to thaja de maram de that will the mind of Bob's there, some the Sangra Son talking about. How can you, Aquina Sajid over the way Mr. War loaning and Mr. Olympia loaning and a time of Sanaraga, the low Yaroeva. No big is Hanaraga, left in the Sanaraga, loading never. I don't know, I see PhD or the English professor of Taiwan to always say, Aquina Jahia Maka like Tamago or Punativa. Ozaji going now, that is going to tell you somebody. Quay Francis Chipem going to go or somebody. So he kaya high school, the Quina Toraja High School, the Quitahitara and Tam they give college the Chahi Manga and Tam they Jolan University, New Delhi, the Quitahini Pan and Tam. So I told Matang La, as an okay PhD lawyer. Like say, she Takashi or in ever. Azuna, Noina studied the Wamatam da. No magiko kajik the move say. She never quite put it. I don't know who's not per car like a la ega and winner. Me another be me get another be the exercise has it talk me. I do talk no. Hannah the minor don't talk with the tongue putting chana cara social life to Karahanto. I do a sajel toba ama mami unaba to Karahanto. I do a larito with the Karapuni and a jungle heavy one. I don't talk to Nova. I do yam talk a left. She gets got. I don't know, Sagi Sang Nana like Toba, Rich Sang Nana like Papa. I think class that when you say, we should have my papa go, no exam in Kaisha. I think Ozana Takumatan when the Puning at the home say. She yama told that I don't not Lahoma. I don't know Lahoma and you know no more review of the Kana from the call. Forgetting curves the hibernate or mini Australia to cup to pa, they got time to cup to what my living. I don't know. No, Yari the yum the hunger review to hope. Review to Romatunda, Noina. I'm quite using Moina, Yam Nova, quickie, hypothesis theory. Amana, when Moina proved to his minor. So my high. Aquina, why did you have a like Tom say, hey, we sick my way the carry way get the Aquina. Knowing and Sagitam, maybe my am say, review to about the cluster lecture tar iba, the gay, knowing a note is a iba, the gay review to my am jamuk nana. Loina, young David Nasadagi, Kayam Kanjere do. Test yourself. Nasana Saito Pitu Kayam Kanga Geze, I do young to over. I do the Kanga Baka, I do for them company. And again, I now was a number to Pangika, when I told the Tambi by say. I told the Tambi position. I do my mother as no 90, but I can't find any call. I do my car de Luna 20. I don't mean, I think I'm the kind of a manako. Mean on the Mamadi Tambi by Yai. I think I'm the kind of Amana. Second best, I would say. A quick classmate singer was asking a Tanaba, quick group discussion day. Madam, the 5 heads are much better than 1 head. Noigi aside from the cook to the Atopagi cook my to Punjala discussed of the Aduna Hena Kanabne. Adunas Manakona Pamina Gamiga group discussion to Boka. The gay Smamatong Nakoina, why we have to be positive. Aquina Larita Mamatam da Punchida my packer of the Quadia goal oriented or the Vayadico, Punchida Manglantam, the Vayadico, when I see was my lies there. Manglanga, Yaram de Deco, when see your oeva. Mr. Eshat Armatunda Queen Manglan, Mangim, Mr. Walsh Lona Bina. I do Gam Quinchang. I do not be done the hygiene, never give a hygiene. Say he tarang Troy. Mr. Eshat, and then Mr. Eshat 1999 the Tavdo. I do Mr. Walt, I just loner one of Jay Gatangi. Say he tarang whom do Henchangeva. I spent 13 years, but did I give up? I never gave up. I quit but finally, one of Bukaladi is how the Taja Wullerdi is I Mr. Waldo in 2013. Iram them Kanglay Park Manipur Moshilaga, Greece the top with the #1 Tarpeda Quena, Iram them Manipur Nahapo, kang lai athoi ma pari na mingthong ga pibi dana kogi association organization taramanga helbana reception chauna airport gi sombal mora hanu bawga okpi dana pubi dana to ki baneba and smite na si la ise kamai to ga khona manglan lai tabaya de you have to be goal oriented goal lai gadabni punchida manglan thamgadabni aduga koi isani sabu thajabadu thamgadabni ngamgani haba wakalndo aduga ngamoi haba mina ngamoi harapito thajarunu adu tarunu adu me ko sada thajabko adi matungda koi test preparation si thoidokna noi oja yamna haigre ko test ki matang ki de ko aduna test ai no noi da haining ba bu ko samlapna harabata ko noina tongwe ya ba bu ko don't worry about your coming test just try your best Ujing noina karimbo wakal wara bako pakat la bako adu ada kadina madugi wakal wabdo pakat paduna hena ayat papigan ya nuna laila shutam bako aduna what you can do now right now is to try just to do your best noi digi ngamjabida honaba adagi ani subida ko mamangda ina hayu social life ya important haido na khoigi imung manungana yamna nungsinana chanana laina honagadabne maramdi nakoigi ima baba goi ibung pa da yamba singina noigi moigi support to phangma mata da noida yamna nungai ba pungning phawgani wakal phawgani aduna noida yam help to ne ko aduna sima to ba adagi ahum subda noi parikha la e kuidre kana sajel to ba tokpa hongda bidu to ganu noi hayeng dagi dum sajel to ba hawro ko yam di to ru ko war gam tum le thukini ko aduna say about start about 20 to 25 at least 20 years I de hawro aduga 30 minutes da bok tawno phonaro chayola mada humla yam drab da ko adumana tawsi adidagi si leira si matungda aina haijaning basi karino haraga de punsida noina hujik la iba exam che sida is the my papa ai sida yam focus to de ko aina noigi punsi sida ju haide harage aduga noigi punchi da mai pa ku dona ina yamna ubo phangi pam mi de maram de aina kalesi aina kanjari noigi tungi jumbire ni tungi mapani mapi mapa wa kadaba mi oini ana kanjara ga haijar mi ko noida aduna noigi tungi punchi da mai pa ku dona ba koina yam pam jari se ko dynamic manipur hona jari se ko aduna noina tungda mai pa ta ba haibe se noina lariba mafam de no makha ponde ko Noigi baba ima the makapun de ko noigi ojara su makapun de ko it's up to you ai koi gi wakalondo adure yamna makapun bane anoi na sana sa thajaraban honabo bukalaba unsida manglan thamlaba no look na chatlaba ko no look na chalade mine nungsibani ko mateng yang pan kani ko adigi noigi apaba mari thamaba topaga ko sajel changna na torba you will get success in life success will come to you luck will come to you. Thank you. Tagasari.
Thank you, sir.
Matamji, I kadi kanoto question hanging baler juana pakatana karaju tura.
Yeah, tamo. Thank you very much.
Yes.
General.
Satra gina uza question hanging ay am tahang jaw gyoza.
Yeah.
Wang zike na hita gadi sum ay na sum yung pakanta Chahi karam kanta ki khoina gym gumba changma chahi karam kanta ki changba ya ga take habi wang si mani habi class 10 dagi tawna phawra 12 brush laga tawna phawra ke ganai ta ga di pakang ning je anam bana gym chambai wakhan je amaleni ado ulagi mot karam ba matam jina appropriate.
Okay. Hoi. Kuna gym ze sanab se adu gym di gym le ko adu kana kuna sajel to bai je kuna gym do oi bai mapan da ground do bai ko sajel to bi da kuna ya they can start since they start walking moina head chat pa hor ko do adum tian ba hor ko do adum sajel in to hor ni ta sing bagi de ko sajel jiga ko lang mai macing tam ji punna chamino hai bni da na koina lai chu khara hai ram ne na ai asadra ma pa singna natraga Ujasina hanging the country. Hey, pass hadra, no sana di no like shoot over the my park no moiko, no, I did a woman moiko to hole, son of say, go, see, around when say, but I'm the going head. Ling Bahok, but they go son of them, Pamla never. andagi akhona lai lai su tamba ji hek pokpu de ma hawra bne ma tamba ise ani je punna chamino ha na no ahi pasa da khona ani je to khai na thambi re ade khona loi kana bse phangdre ba andina hoi na sai gym gi matang da hare ga diko any sanaport se akhona sanabde dum sajel thok dum hawbo yare akhoi ji class 10 gi akhoi ye 12 ki sanaro sing loina hawbo yare sanaba ado hoi gym da chappe ga hare ga diko it is better to start from 15 maram dia khona gym da chat pa haji yor chai thangla punina arum ma thangla punina khona saru ji yam no ragadi mapung phadra gadi nungai ta ba aduna khona traunga chai traunga ga sura de dum chana ba yar adu ai sum khan ba no metric tharam dai de dum yor mani ko metric tharam dai de chai traunga dum sura ba aduna so right from tomorrow you can start going to gym or going to the ground or whatever you can yes
Topa question hanging by interaction toning ba Ngamgbam Shantikumar tang ba tanja phang se anybody from participants adum mic unmute tor ga dum hang bi yani
Tamoi question ta hangjagi ai ming Ellen Sapam
camera happy ro dana
hello Ellen
happy phang se
oh Ellen okay good to see you
thank you Tamoi wari singdo ai ga yam relate to bungam bai da tamul shan Instagram gum da pau phone jagre ai hojik master tawjari Manipur University da adu ai professional oina ai men's physics da ju han ai compete tawjakre adu ai tamot thain hangjagi ba aina habdi steroid sing mayam loina stage yorgadi sizna bu khotpagi paw su leibi ba adu tamon haibda gi hujik pawdi natural on lasery adu ai gi future je kai kai de lai gi tamon habi ya jagara
Ellen using master the kari tawge
master in environmental science the master tawjari sir
okay so you have two ways. One is you can go to that line ko sigi line de no environmental science no na moza we ning brana tra du line de thapap kyo gera hai ba male ko aduga noina sigi akhoi sanabi lam ji da professional oina changera na traga sigina amalai adubu aina haining badi ko sagi professional nagi khoge environmental science to adugi line du da laga na adugi line du thabak phangna ba dum khona ba yaraga di ko aduga maram di akhoi sanabi lam ji da na sale je unless you are professional sportsman in some certain areas ko certain sports like cricket kumba football kumba di kanai ko adu bodybuilding kumba khoge Mr. Physics kumba to buse sidina khoi gym gi sidi khoi sale je yamna tan bagi lambi se laite ba ko ada America da ko de hoi moi gym chao chao hangna chum da de dum ya ba ne coach ko oidina som da ko to si yam ya adu khoi gi dom da di sigi kaino je sel nung tan bagi pibam je khar wat pne aduna I like you to focus on your study but at the same time sagi akhoi sai physical Mr. Physics to am natra asigi line ji da dum chalo sigi line ji da dum chalo do ngamaga di handak ki sahi ji natra ga mathang chahi da ha no mamang da pangthu ki ba legendary Mr. Maipak and Dr. Ngamgbam mitay national level natural bodybuilding competition tawgi to adu mathang handak chahi jira mathang chahi jira tawgena khalleba khogi COVID-19 gi fibam chi yeng ko aduna I know je haining mati Ellen da ko so keep going nahak na karuma professional oina changdraga so ko sanabadi to ko ba because your exercise not just forgetting some title khara ming thon khara phangna wi dam tanat te se nasa se punchi chupa nasa je hakjang khon laina bane ba that's why I am still training ai uji pa dan kan training tawre ba ko ngasi di meeting lai na ai yang wa ba ya di na ai sana ba chatte ba ko ngang chale na ju chatle ba ko da ai dead lift ai uji keno ai 160 kg yan thangal le ba dead lift ka je squat ai 160 kg pham me uji ai uji 57 years ai helam ni ko chahi yang khai ga taret helam na ai uji che handak ki chahi dai December kun nipan da yang khai nipan su dai ne ba adu ai squat da leg khong ji squat si da ai kg cha wo phu jai irai lai pham ne ba kg cha wo phu ji lum ba ni ko
lum ja
adu dead lift ai kg cha wo phu hum da jon chin khat le ba dead lift ta sine your exercise you are not doing just for some titles or just for 1 year or 2 years and not just to show up but this is for yourself. See, akoina sajel tawise ho yaraga di mingthonje yarige lawsina akoi lawsi mai lawsi adubo adu ngamdraga su noina SI ngamdre kana sana tu ke khanbudine no khalluno ba aduna keep training. I say why high give do Henry Ford na high do in hapting give do. If you keep training, doesn't matter you are 20 or 80, you will stay young mentally and physically. Aduga nangi environmental line do the show adum padana ni kina tamno hono line ani se ani makche pulla dum chatpa yabne ba adu example wa koi lai sinina aina Mr. World title tara ni thoi fangi je thabak to tung de ne loina sidai da Taiwan da professional le matung da icha mari le kan loi phang phang atane se adu aina ngamadi noi ju loi ngam fe ba chine adu akoi wa khalun da lei bne se ngamoina khan bu na ne ngam ne drise ko Alan ko
Right, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Atopa participants in the hangbining ba or any kind of hanging balay so adum sige tanja sa lobby horo atam so dum kara things la ma'am anybody later just give another 2 more minutes.
Focus tutorial 15 hai bro maliko cha
Rosan gini
noi de no le re noi kan hang de ka dara na focus tutorial na mo school la isa sing noi de ka dara ta hang noi hanguna wa ngang de ka dai noi mai pa ki ha ga noi wa ngang de ka dai de no ai ji atu pa mi jna te noi le kai de ne okay
Rosan you are mute.
Yeah, ozai ki satra ngata ne atak ten thalo ka yauri
Rosan so hoi na adu angang gi no question khara hangal lu ya dro kai no question na na ba sem sa ho dro bo am me ta kan ngaw ni da
ozai ki lecture da moi yam nu ngai re na ai hangmo question hangmo na sai de insist tawri ni
moi Rosan na wa ngang gi ai kai no pan jao ge ai tangkam ta pan jao ge ko When my rosing the car, class 12, 11, the percata, the exam target of my rosing. I see pange color car hole. A queen, Nan Rosin the big door, a quick revise strategic door. I do yamna, a dugi door, yamna walk the when you call it functional or in color. But there are no Ozajo and man to Damanico. I take the hold the bar. Yauro Sunan, Sagi Mana, Quay Rosana, Haiba, quick revise strategic. Yam to Canada. When the chapters around do Paga, do Loina Pavi, Matam do like the chapters around do the Yauriba key pointing door. I do it for when the chapter do wise to Yanga Sagi topic key words in the Yanga. I can't kangi kangri. I thought my revise to I functional or in a color. Thank you.
I couldn't hide using keywords in the Loina. Itoba matunda kwegi chapter to the tamiba kwegi chapters na pid information ki keywords myam neba ado magi makok ta iriba matang ire do hana khanga do na makok ta thama ijarak pane aduga hai ba moise already hana tamkraba satra gi one apply tawjabane haidi revised ki strategy ne hana like suka parakta budi apply tawda khara wagani adu hana paraga khangkhre adu ai kaw ribse kadai da no khangriba jaga do hai keywords to yenga magi brains the amuk hane extract toma tamda kadai da ai je soli ge kaugre have those chingthok yam nungai ba aduna exam marakta 2 days 3 days laibudadi whole chapter loi fak gi time lai tamnina maduduna yam tina applicable oi
yes pa ho da ba kang bu ju ko yam kana ni maram di hoi khang da bi yam yaw ni ba ko adu ri ka suna adu gi do yam na functional oi ba shortcut oi ba yamna fajabe strategic na lawe na yamna function ai na ta ya ban ko adu dai na live ti ta hodre adu ai no ko na thara yeng na adu gi do yam pa ya adu gi do moi ta hodda ba sing du na kari gum ta hodda ba le ga jo ko yi Rosan na ngang yi do ko yi then we mar pu gi YouTube ta yaw ban ya do magi space to da ko gi loina ta ba noi matam nei tra ga ko loi sela ku gi do ai da man pan gi ne ba ko adu gi do ta bi yo yam kana ba fang ni
sida so Ngamgbam Dhana si kanano sida my group ma yauri
ure
Ngamgbam Dhana
Voice mute le male mute unmute to be
mo ise mute le mo ise microphone mute le
namai apan dhane sor hogi team de su kari kai no khara haining ba adum ongdor ogana.
Okay, moi gi mito lai tramal ko. Namai rakwam dhane sor. Noi do uji noi mayam ama famba we nupa noi naharon mayam ama do hang odana ke no. Feel free. Noi do
Copy like from
copy like from noi giro.
Okay.
Hey, tade. Copy gi si tade.
Tat kramale.
Connection can be good.
Copy gi si line do tat khara ke no tade.
Gopinam ki line do yade message hoina question do message thabi rachu anka.
Natraga chat iraga dum thara chu ai ko. Hanga chu ai ko.
Copy sa mong sang di sang ma yabra. Last attempt mutang to biro copy tar gadi.
I newa kitang nuai to ko ai mapan do throk chabane do aina hangjaling je seng na da khoi adagi sa sati ma degi dajaning ma ja khoi regular exercise hai je every hojiki matam jida exercise yam ka oi hai do hojik se khoi ji seng na thabo goma to matam da sang nai na to bu je seng na matam da tori ba bok sina ke hai ni sang nai ba si example khudam oina ha ba do ai singa na howe do hobu ka ji da khoi ni ke hai ni habit ama oina thamna basa isada hena habit amu ohen basi aham de mi khram ji cycle bu ni example kind of the walking exercise ya maru ohen hai the thabokti tawri basi da hen hai ni mi jing je hoji matam ji kana cycle bu leiraga ju exercise tawna ba matam khara ko part time tawma ga do lepa ma tawi ba adu regular amu ohen ba basi isada kamaina suhan ngana ba jimtang sada gi taning ba ko to koina di hoji si yengna mi exercise hai basi the Maung malan ko example gari ga leidana cycle ga je hoji kan tawnai ba ai brother ka khoi atang tang yam costly ob lei ado numi part time oi da ba haidi long time da exercise to ngam gi da ba asi kari dagi oi gani ado tang
Okay
asi regular oi horo tara ga ti da le ba
yeah kano ne akhoi gi na akhoi na habit formation hai se akhoi na habit ama sem bai je matam chang ko aduga akhoi habit sem ngam dri gi maram chu leba ina sai mamang da priority hai do akhoi priority je pi da bane ba akhoi na exercise da obasida walking chat pa du da na traga gym da chat pa da na traga akhoi na lampak tho ga sajil to base si gi si masidai da masi yamna luna lumna laudaba haidi priority da akhoi na pi da bane ba atopa thabak to akhoi priority pi ba for example like ai gi thabak ta ne khangde adagi imana bo unaba ta ne khangde natraga akhoi gi like pabrom da ne khangde ne akhoi na adom da ne hena lumna lokthokpa lumna luna lauraga ai gi sajel to bi sibuna line na khanbadagi akhoi na priority to pi da bdo aduna ne akhoi na koi moina makha tan chathabang ngamdri se adu sidai da akhoi na kariumba ko habit formation kariumba habit ama chang nai na kariumba thabak ma chang nai na tauge harga dina akhoi na mioi bidugi matung ina ko koi nimit se yam dabdana koi gi chayol na hum dagina na tha ani changba yai tha hum changba yai tha manga changba yai tha taruk changba yai ko sidi it depends on their how much time or how much they focus on their new habit sinam koina moina hojik tawri ba habit to moina hotnari ba sajel ne khangde any afaba habit ne khangde moina sian of hotnari do adu yam drabda chayol ahum sibaudi moi leptana tawgadabne ba for example sajel tawran khalis ko sajel tawdi chayol amda se nong chayol amda numi humni tawran khalis ko yam drami numi humni tawran ko at least chayol ahum di chayol ahum dagi tadna taw ba sigse adu adagi habit se once habit se form grab ko adagi na priority se koina masi lumna lorba luna lorba adu di ko koina continue to bungam ne makha tam cha thabang ngam ne aduna koina mi ayamana tawna di se kay no koina priority to p the neba they don't give priority to exercise moina health si moida wi nadri na moina dum guarantee ona top to neba they take it guaranteed ha moina si mangoida du pitro abani laira bani mo yakja dum farani ga naro ga chum kan bage tawdri neba to once I don't know cancer gan la nara de ba mo dum kanga do do yung na ako asukyan ako hakang seng na lady ba de natural na sana dana natural diet taw dana asuking mati ako discipline na hing level ko da cancer ay balay na tak chong sa laim ne ado sana da noy mayam dadi kamay taw ni ado it will be even more easy right ado na ako na yam na checking ga da bin nadring ay da ado na nadring ay ko na da na ba kono ba na da na ko na sin ya ko na sajil to ba ay se ado na ko priority sa pi ba ko priorities people.
So the question number A, Namarakam Dhane Sodagi. Sir, how can we continue struggling without any tiredness or stress? How can one make possible? See the Famong the Leraga, I'm a Pamaga, don't wadana.
Okay, can you see like oh, she doesn't tiredness and stress environment is not you here like with the people say and you might be very stressed, you might be very tired because you use too much cell phone. Cell phone yam na sina ba cell phone screen yam sina ba TV screen yam sina ba computer screen yam sina ga pamba aduna smai haye ako na malem jira ko survey to matam de ko 90% of college students college that may ba 90% jam mem na mobudra dina cell phone je moi cell phone je ga kona na tumme ba adudagi 70% humdrana na moi je tum sit phana tumbangam de ba cell phone je sub toring da message piring da chat toring da Instagram toring da Twitter toring da ko adudagi 50% of college student sang mung yang kaina na nonga laga yamna tired oire exhaust oire fatigue oire ware and complaint to website so 90% they sleep with cell phones 70% of college students they don't have enough sleep and 50% of college students they feel fatigued tired exhausted the next day karige cell phone sinabki aduna sagi akogi kanano namarakpam dane so way group na so how can we continue struggling without any tiredness or stress koi exercise to matam da kara stress to matam da koi tired or bay koi wa bay ko ngaki wena ko adubo you will get back your energy again it's not it doesn't take too much time I mean you won't get tired too long adum halak pane aduna na sai pandagi ba sajel to boji parika maya je sajel to matam da yamna kanna di toru no haije yamna wargen tum lai thokine lai pa bi mote ko aduna medium range da to bi oba sajel je adu ngak saningi ngak wa bai wane ko adu yamna wa di natte ba aduna awa ba pi ba natte ba ani chayolam da limit pung khayam exercise to do think over how much time you spend on your cell phone no your cell phone screen de no pung kaya spend to ge YouTube te pung kaya de Facebook te pung kaya to ge no happy thing yang bio adu ade ga ko no 30 minutes spending 3 times a week is nothing hidi kai su na de ba ai chayolam da 30 minutes 30 minutes at home la kai to ko kai su na de ko na cell phone da no na haron chin na college student high school student na mo na cell phone da kai thui ba matam ji ga changdam na ga di ko
Matangda hoigi diya moira kemna the girls ki mahiri for girls it is hard to make study and exercise together we girls are more focused on household activities in term exercise and advice for girls to go together study and exercise sima dum hoi Manipur gi environment di nupi sing sta household gi yum gi responsibility bisan base amna chumba kan omane hapetang damo advice
ta kai gi moirang tem dia ko Orang ken dia gi question ji am chume akhoi gi inat akhoi gi ramdam gi culture da akhoi gi inat akhoi na akhoi gi nupi jaw bising na akhoi gi adagi maugi singda chalabe akhoi gi nupi gi kangup te le bising na akhoi gi yum gi thabak to bai si mau sani ko adu si lai haidana koina sajel tawroi si lairik paroi si haibadi yate ko aduna koi nisai kamai to dana koi gi sajel to bisi ka study ga koi combine to with the harga yes of course you can do noina yum gi thabak to adu matung ina noi gi sajel do khara handaba khara hankat pu to cheba haibadi if you do a lot of works housework household things at home then you cut down a little bit of your time from your exercise I think khara make up to na ko aduga tawbagi yum the thapak yam tawbji humang yam thokpadi natabani na ko kodi na sagi endorphin haribu hormone je thokpada luna to e adra ina exercise no da taw hari siti ko maru oina den sagi endorphin haribu hormone je happy hormone je thokna nabne ba phana wara si noina sigi hormone je thora ba ko chang nai noina noina saduna exercise to na putho ba ko noina na lairik pa bdo mina pung ahum ani ahum pa bdo noina na pung hai pung amada par pha bung ngani ba Rasagin maram di nangi muto na koi gi muto happy mutal later ni ko happy mut ki mochi da later ba ade ko je harau ragati ko harau tayam na later ko je laila shoot pa ba su hai bane yam na tuna adagi thabi ingang to ju mai pa ne ba aduna ko gi sigi muchi change tawle endorphin china ko aduna na sagi si later ni na noina study to do matam khar ka thar ga ju ko no ya dum study pajana to bu ya ga ne ba ana sagi yum da lairiba thabak to aduga na gym da lairiba thabak chi ga pitang yengaga khara chang hantaba khara wangkhat pa admain to ga tawse koi adwa nupi oena yum da household thabak mayam to we na koina sajel tawroi si habadi langani ko divya ko dia
yeah but thank you for the question topo kana question sir what exercises do you recommend for those who can't access to gym
okay yeah for those who can access to gym actually koi gym din leibni hey leibdi loina Manipur da ko koi leira khuding gi gym din leibni ko koi noina karigumba koina arapa kungang dagi oidana gym like ta khota bo oida gadi koina aktopa yam ko aktopa to boya koina koina lamjau da lampak ta ko khidi adagi koina kungang da leireng khalji ko lampak te dum leina ko kungang da ko leila koi lampak to ga koi labuk ta thokpa yai koi chingya tamya da chapa yai turing khongpan chapa yai ko koina lamjen chen base yam kanai ko lamjen chen baga na gym da sana koi endorphin ja dum thorkani ba koina medium range noi lamjen chelo ko sagi endorphin hari ba hormone ja dum thorkani ba adagi tennis hanarsu ade gym da sanarsu achu chamana isidi ko anoina humang dana bu sajel torbo ko haribe endorphin jadum thorakani aduna kogi natraga yum da tawge su yai gym da natraga kona buktan inba ade thong da kona bar chingbi ko adagi laipak ta kona buktan inba ade bar chingba adagi kona stretching to ba sajel to si lo yabne aduna kona pambu pamlo ge joy smana haina balbini ko kona if we have the will, there's a will, there's a way I do. We the go. When a palm na bukala, to give bukala the go. As gym later joba, lampang later jodum exercise to yabne. And as first thing, you have to decide yourself why you shouldn't do exercise. Hina harm the when you walk in hand lepo with them. I exercise to wow, we go hang the game go. Lepaseba. I hang they do how never. Adu letra ke na koi wakal jina letra bako no ina not to the world gym le no no yang nak kan tu dana ina khadu dana gold gym le no bako no gym chalo ya ba you know hand ina koi na fix your mind give priority to your health and exercise you will start it doesn't matter whether you have gym or not you will surely start and you will be healthy and you will be successful go
Manipur ki context de tamo kuman lapak su yamna mi yam to bu uraga motivate to su oi aduga yam phaba na ching ka ba se ching jam ka ching trekking ba to yamna
yes yeah jume adu do ko serau ki na kari mi am ko no ko ju la ko so mo le ko ko langjing jing do ji CRP ne sam de ko ka ya dre ko da ko na le ring da CRP le tri da ko langjing jing do ko body think chana re we think to re ba ko ha ka na da je la sana ram me ko adu ching le bo de ko di yam na pai ching da ka to ka chin jang gan da ka se as ne sa gi endorphin ai je ma di minute ra nga da kan thora ni ba sa gi wa ba do ga da ching ka ya wa me ko adu na ching ka ba yai adu karigumba ko na Imphal manungda leiraga de koi Khuman Lampak ta chatlaga na ado atokpa na ai khwaidagi phabidi ko atokpa marakta na miyam marakta haibdi atokpa sing ga punna na exercise to natra moi uraga tawse sina hena motivated oibane andi itomda yumda tawse sidi kharasu koi isana itomda motivate tawba ngamdraga di ko aidi kari haitara ko kari haitara ko na stubborn oidraga di ko willpower leitraga di yumda tawse yang wabne aduna na adugumba khara sombo oiraga dina khoina na mi tin mampham jingumba di lampak kumba di Khuman Lampak kumba salaga na mayamna tawdu adum illaga tawba adu di soidra adum pamne akhoi ju gym da chapse khalu no ba ai sanaro amni professional ni kaina ai ji numti gym da chappa pamra ga jo khoi tan ma yawri ni ba I'm a human being sometimes I get lazy you know samanda ai ju tan le ba ko adu tan mam tam je kamai to ge da once ai adum haije bi tumda gym da chatta chalona hek step yo bugana mayamna sanari ju u dan sai tan banga loi kaw ki yeah that's how I keep motivating myself and the same thing you can do
Okay, so matam si so thanks a lot kanina ay nakambeda topo ko si Sulit Kamale. I think masigi ako yung nagsotrey sa iba 17 episode ki inspiration kilo siya po ina I would like to request Sapam Siamananda to give the conclusion remark and Ngamgbam Shantikumar and speakers everybody thank you very much. Over to Sapam.
Thank you Bidan. Kasi nungai tamo Shantikumar gi si taza bang si so ako inspiration episode 17th Manipur gi flagship event na si ako COVID-19 gi pandemic laibadagi ako online offline ako kanoina direct face to face tawbang online da tawjabada ako si 4 days ta jarak pa si Ngamgbam Shantikumar nang si chemistry ki tips ta ako Francis Chipem amsung Ngamgbam Shantikumar punna koi tawmin sa nungai khre aduga mamang da session ahum tawjakre everything I ming when panjaragi ako video amasung ako online videos YouTube channel amadi Facebook channel da dani Manipur da loina ako phangbiragani aduna mayam si ako if anybody wants to see that those videos again it's available aduga sigi samlabna hajar da koi Francis Chipem na chemistry ki tips khara pi binatna exam ki tips pi binatna overall magi experience life experience agi mana kamaina ai sanga ko kamaya amadi future class 12 or exam tha bagi tips khara so pi madu thank you once again Francis we hope to meet in person someday soon aduga Ngamgbam Shantikumar gi topic se hana balancing social life and sports hayam badagi balancing social life sports and study for a better academic performance and success in life and a high sangbokraga nasagi tamona haurakpadagi hauna punsida mai pakpa mo igi ha oda isag mo igi hai taragi karamaina akoina family gi support yahon gataba amsung akoi social network to concern ba adugi matakta haksang phana leiga haksang phana lei panang nasagi tamona happy hormones hanjan hybrid endorphin pam adu tholaktana aduga mental health su yamna phana leibana ani mak sigi kanosina higi ahum strong social life including support from family aduga strong very good health adu tamano sa hanjan haibi ko saya angang sing so ma'am sigi attendees ma'am jam kana not heta chatlaga yam sang to go hafta am da ahum lag mai rakuma 30 to 45 minutes tamano sa panli pe chen bo ro chat bo ro manjin chat bo ro adu masigi samjal labda ngasagi overall tamang say last messaging do ayam tang hajar again one thing tamana has never give up last the success in life completely depends on you and doesn't depend on anybody else very good habits of sleep and health the habits formed of guna ngasagi isa le dream ama hamaga dream do manglan do mangphauna na ba kanna sai tamana last to tamana Mr. Asia or Mr. World or one of the 13 years sangi aduga even cancer na phauda sang do fan le ragadi adak yam tamtiba leina do tamana nakphu ngam ki na sai fan yedo I'm sure tamogi tips me am si pagi viewer tabi listening the viewers in the success way the yam sina kana bo oiram bani han saje engon si isam ti jamda kana bo mo ki aduna So today is the end of this 4 days of the inspiration episode 17. Akoi matung dasu episode kaya ama koi program hona jake speaker topak mayam so do I would like to thank all the participants, all the students from the coaching centers who are attending today for the sign up. Once again, thank you very much, and those who are viewing this event live on our channels, I will also request you to keep asking questions, keep supporting the Dynamic Manipur's vision and goals, and we will be back again very soon. And I again want to thank Vidhan for being this host over the over this whole event. So thank you once again to all the Dynamic Manipur members and advisors and all our senior members who are present today and have been supporting all the activities of Dynamic Manipur from the beginning. Thank you once again. So back to you, Vidhan.